Hey there, welcome to FundooMoney, your 24 into 7 buddy for all your money matters. You're watching Daily Wrap at FundooMoney on Facebook Live. This is our daily update on personal finance matters, your daily personal finance dose as we call it. Basically an update on what is the latest that's happening in your world of personal finance. So let's get into the stock markets today, and there's a lot of action that went on the stock markets. There's a lot of turbulence, and you would find that even that turbulence got reflected in the currency markets as well. So in the stock markets, what happened was the stock markets actually tanked. Sensex went down and closed at 31,922.44 points. So that's about 447 points down. That's a pretty steep fall. You can use the word tanking because that's a lot. 447 points. Nifty was down 158 points, 9,964.40. Now, what is the reason? Well, it's North Korea again. There are talks about North Korea doing some kind of an hydrogen test. Now this is going to be an overseas kind of a test above Pacific Ocean. That's if the rumors are correct, then it's deeply provocative, and this has not been done for decades. Most of these tests, atomic tests, have been done underground. It's been decades since this has been done overground, so that will be a deeply provocative thing. So the markets are will be watching at that. A lot of people don't expect it, but there is a rumor that something like this is being planned. Apart from that, there's been a lot of sanctions, threats of sanctions, new sanctions coming in. United States tightening the screws, so that is leading to a lot of war of words. So now the important thing is there's across the board sell-off. Banks sell off, you name it. Apart from I think IT stocks, there was across the board sell off. Mid cap stocks and small cap stocks did badly, they went down. So it's actually across the board this is happening. That's North Korea. Then the other thing that has influenced the stock market was imminent rate hike. Now the odds, it seems, that are being given for a rate hike somewhere around December is people are talking about it to be pretty high. That is something that happened in the stock markets. Now this actually went on to impact the currency market. So rupee, although it closed 2 rupees 2 paise, I beg your pardon, higher, it went through a lot of turbulence. So it at one point it was going at around 65 rupees 12 paise to a dollar, so it almost fell by 35 paise, and then it closed at 2 paise more. Now there are reports that the RBI actually intervened in the market. Banks actually sold some dollars, exporters sold some dollars. So rupee was under pressure today. So that's important. There's a reasonable amount of turnaround that has happened. Before rupee was appreciating, that turnaround has happened. There are people have been fearful. Foreign investors have been fearful that since the economy is not doing well, or as well as one would expect, then there might be some slippage in the fiscal situation. Now remember, yesterday I mentioned to you that foreign investors, they don't like your exchange rate or your currency doing badly. They don't like inflation. They like the fiscal house to be in order. So whenever they're going to see signs of something like that, something less than pleasant happening, you will find this kind of exits happening. So today there's a lot of sell-off that has happened, a lot of move-outs that have happened. So and there was also a demand for dollars by importers. So all this was playing around. So there's a little reasonable amount of turbulence that happened in the forex market, rupee versus dollar. Now this is not an isolated thing. Dollar actually pounded some of the other a lot of the other currencies, including Asian currencies, so they have done badly as well. So as the rate hike information came in, more odds are being given. Dollar is like doing better, and everything is getting hammered, which is competing with it as an investment. So so that is roughly. So today, if you ask me or us at FundooMoney, I would say that the currency market was probably a topmost headline item, and then comes the stock market. So that's something that has happened. There's another very interesting thing that has happened is RBI has opened up corporate debt, corporate securities, rupee denominated debt for foreign investors. Now the amount is as much as 44,000 crores. It's spread across two sort of quarters. So the idea is to liberalize that. So if it's rupee denominated, so people are going to buy that, so there will be more demand for rupees. So that's another way of balancing things as they are happening. So if there's an imbalance that's happening within the rupee dollar, then that's how these things will be done. So that is as far as another development is concerned. Wall Street, it seems, is flat. They're watching the North Korea situation, and so it's reasonably flat, or maybe you know, by the time you see this, it might have been marginally lower. People are terribly excited by the way Apple's phone is the shipments and other stuff is concerned. So they were expecting more. So it is below their expectations, so that's affected Wall Street a little bit. Now Brent crude is roughly where it was, $46 41 cents, 2 cents up. Now they're actually, it seems that they're waiting for a meeting in Vienna to get a fix. I mean, we're talking about OPEC. That's those guys. They typically meet at Vienna, and they do influence our lives, simply because oil prices that you and I we pay up either through for our vehicles or for public transport, they impact us. So they're waiting, but you can be very sure that this is not really going to go up. It's at a personal level, I do feel that it's going to get rationalized, and it's going to go down. It's not going to plummet. It's going to go down. As we mentioned, that some supply disruptions happened in the US, that's going to get sorted out. So that's roughly the wrap for this week. It's not ending all that well with the stock market being the way it is, and the currency market. Of course, the turnaround point is in the currency market. The way rupee went down today by about 35 paise, it's quite a bit, and there are multiple reports that RBI did intervene. So it's pointing to another direction. Don't be surprised if next week you find some kind of announcement coming from the government to keep the sentiment where they are, where they want it to be. They don't want people to start getting pessimistic. It's not a great thing to happen. But at a personal level, I do expect government to make some moves on disinvestment. Because they would like to raise some additional revenues. So you might, apart from various other things, you might just expect some kind of a foot on the pedal on disinvestment, because the government would like to raise some revenues. There's been a little bit of a tax correction slowdown, so that will happen. So when that comes in, you can expect the markets to react positively and do better. Of course, there's North Korea to dampen things down. Hopefully things will not go out of control. So that's roughly the wrap for this week. Hope you have a lovely weekend. Have a great time. We'll catch you on Monday with another edition of Daily Wrap at FundooMoney on Facebook Live. Take very good care of yourself, and goodbye.